What is going on, guys? It's your boy Documentary Review here, back at it again with another lively review here today. Today we're reviewing All Work, All Play, a 2015 documentary directed by Patrick Creedon. If you're a person with a TV or internet connection, then you undoubtedly have come across the mention of professional online gaming at least once in the past few years. Yes, it's become that prominent. The rise of online gaming has been fascinating to witness, and now there is a documentary that encompasses it. The sports stars of the past have included noble soccer competitors, triumphant football athletes, or polarizing basketball players. Throughout the documentary's opening credits, black and white footage is played of vintage sporting events, including old-time football, car racing, and table tennis. This serves as a stark comparison between the childhood stars of yesterday and the ones of tomorrow. The truth is, professional online gaming has always been taken with a humorous tone to it. People think of it as a cute hobby or adorable side gig, and wonder aloud why it is being broadcast on cable television.
And I'm laughing because I can't think of anything less interesting, but I'm totally in the minority.
I was one of these people, and I guarantee there are millions more like me, just not keen to the possibility that this may be a big legitimate organization. In reality, this documentary blew away any stereotypes or jokes I had about professional gaming. The documentary made it very clear this is something that is rapidly expanding and will keep on doing so in the future. The documentary immediately immerses itself into the gaming community by deciding to follow one of the most popular and important cornerstones of the industry, the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. This multi-stage event is witnessed by millions and is one of the defining aspects of the gaming community. In the documentary, we get to follow around Michal Blišarc, who is the head organizer of the IEM World Championship. In the documentary, we get an interesting look into his earlier years of online gaming, his life's track being a good metaphor for the pro gaming industry itself. Michal started organizing gaming tournaments of 10 to 15 people in internet cafes around his hometown in Poland. After eventually becoming a reporter focused on the gaming industry, Michal was very critical about the then infant IEM League, and offered how he would better run the program through his editorial pieces. So naturally, he got the job as executive. Since then, the documentary shows his efforts and successes in spreading the league across the world. This documentary also follows one of Michal's risky ventures, a gaming event in the US. The players are emphasized just as much in the documentary. A few teams have the spotlight in the film, including Cloud9 and TSM, both based out of San Jose, California, the GE Tigers, based out of Korea, and Team Fnatic, out of Europe. After learning about the teams and getting personal with the players from hearing their backstories on why they love their friends on the team, it's interesting to see these same teams go after it in multiple IEM World events. There is a certain interest that is piqued when you can assign names to faces and faces to teams. This documentary, over a span of 90+ minutes, teaches you about the league and the players and the teams, and somehow by the end you are actually rooting for a team. You'll feel pride when your team wins, it's sadness when they lose, something you did not even imagine doing going into watching this doc. This documentary essentially answers the question, how can people get into this, with you, the viewer, as the answer, as you'll find yourself thoroughly engaged in watching the final matchup only 90 minutes after beginning to hear about pro gaming. Factors like this make All Work, All Play such an uncommon watch. Another factor that supports this is seeing the raw emotion that comes from these games. If you are one of the people who previously may have thought that gaming was a lighthearted and fun endeavor, this documentary will turn that notion on its head. It captures the pure joy one side receives, as well as the agonizing sadness the other has. You will be left stunned by how much raw emotion is poured into this sport by the players, announcers, and fans. One big word for this documentary is big. It rings true on so many levels. It has a bigger fan base than most people think. It's hosted in bigger arenas than most people think. It has a bigger impact on people's lives than many think. Who do you think Real did more views last year? LeBron James or Reckless from Team Fnatic? The answer may, or after seeing some of the things in this video already, may not surprise you. The documentary gave an admirable stat. Esports draws more viewers than the NBA Finals, World Series, BCS National Championship game, or Sunday Night Football. If you didn't take esports seriously, that stat should make you reconsider. A conclusion I made from this was that esports draws so much attention because it is so much easier to participate in. For example, people, like myself, can be avid fans of hockey. However, I am missing out on an extra level of appreciation because I've never played hockey before. Competing in or playing the sport adds a new level of excitement and relatability to those watching the same sport. While it may take a lot for me to get involved in hockey, such as equipment costs, logistics, etc., it takes almost nothing for me to download League of Legends and quickly learn to appreciate the strategies and precision the pro players are employing. The parallel to real sports does not stop there. In the documentary, Rekkles is a phenom 17-year-old who, after losing an IEM match with his older team, was looking to transfer to a new team. The online coverage and terminology used in describing the kid's team change was nothing short of the hysteria associated with professional soccer transfer. On top of that, teams informed the documentary's viewers about roster changes, recruiting, and salaries. This is starting to sound like the general manager's office for a sports team if you ask me. Now, while these teams are not exactly a pro sports franchise, they still have a respectably complex hierarchy. Similar to sports teams, they have owners and corporate sponsors that dish out money based on player success. With that, positions such as Chief Operations Officer, General Manager, and Communications Officers are also common in these organizations. On top of that, the arenas they play in are much larger than you'd expect. Where a person could envision a tournament hosted at a local arcade or in a conference room of a hotel, the industry stomps on these notions. 2 large championships held in the United States in the past few years have managed to sell out the Staples Center in Los Angeles and fill the SAP Center in San Jose. The documentary covered this event. One final thing this documentary unveiled was the impact esports has had on the players' lives. A perfect example of this is one of the players on the team, TSM, who admitted he was bullied and shy as a child and was living a rough life. He used online gaming as an escape, and now he gets to do what he loves, with a newfound confidence that may have never been touched had it not been for esports. A similar example was one of the reporters and hosts for IEM, who said she was shy and timid, but fell in love with the gaming community. It was a mere outlet for her, and now this outlet turned into a career full of doing what she's passionate about. There are several more stories similar to this in the documentary, so I'd totally consider watching it if I were you. That's what I think of All Work, All Play. What do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments below along with suggestions as to what documentaries to watch next. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to catch next week's documentary. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!